internet. Today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag, I think is what it's called. This tag was created by Chami? I'm so sorry, and Ellie, and I will put their videos in the description in case I totally just butchered their names. But I know it's not quite halfway through the year, but I feel like it's close enough to be able to go ahead and do this tag. Plus, I really thought the questions sounded like a lot of fun, so I wanted to go ahead and do it. So the first question is the best book you've read so far in 2017. I feel like a lot of people are going to be saying this is their favorite book of the year, but it is so totally deserved, and that is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This is a YA contemporary about a girl named Star who witnesses one of her best childhood friends being shot by a police officer when there was no reason for him to be shot. And so it's kind of about Star and how she's dealing with being the only witness and having to deal with the case in that way. And plus just, you know, a story about growing up. There's a great family dynamic, there's a great relationship, you see her interact with her friends, and it was just a really fantastic book. A great debut novel from Angie Thomas. I'm definitely going to be reading everything that she comes out with from now on, and this book is completely and utterly worth all the hype it's getting, and I don't say that lightly. The second question is the best sequel you've read so far in 2017. I kind of had a hard time picking between two books, but I think I'm going to go with Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I just recently read this last month. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. This has become one of my favorite fantasy series of all time, and you need to read this series. It's just a duology, so not much of a commitment, and this is the second book. The first book, Six of Crows, is about a group of 6 different characters who pull off this like really crazy heist, and it's set in the same Grisha world that Leigh Bardugo's Grisha trilogy is set in as well. But I really, really loved this book. Although since it was really hard for me to choose, I will also go ahead and give a shout out to A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab, which is the third book in the Shades of Magic trilogy. And this was also really, really good. I think I like Crooked Kingdom just a little bit more, but I still really, really loved this finale, and I had a lot of feelings about it. And it's an adult fantasy series about this boy named Kel, who is one of the only magicians left that can still travel in between worlds. So in this world there's 4 different kind of Londons, which is where it's set. There's Red London, Black London, White London, and Grey London. Kel's one of the only ones who can still travel in between all the different worlds. And then he runs into a thief named Delilah Bard, who I love, and things just kind of get crazy from there. And I also really love this series, so I didn't want to not talk about it too. The third question is a new release you haven't read yet but want to. Oh lord, so many. There are so many new releases that I haven't gotten to yet that I want to, but I think I'm gonna go with the one that I just most recently bought, and that was When Diplo Met Rishi by Sandhya Menon. This book just came out, but I heard phenomenal things about it from all the booktubers that got ARCs, and I went to the author signing for this, and it was actually on the day the book released, and it just got me that much more excited to read it. I'm definitely going to be picking it up soon. The fourth question is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. That's probably gonna have to go to Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, which is like book, I guess 6 now in the Throne of Glass series, but it's, from what I understand, it's just about what Kale was doing during Empire of Storms. So you could almost call it book 5.5. I don't know what it's being technically considered now, but I know there's a lot of controversy about the Throne of Glass series, but I really, really love that series, and I am really looking forward to Tower of Dawn. Number 5 was your biggest disappointment. For me, that's gonna have to go to Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This book gets so much hype, both on BookTube and just like in general in the book world, and so I was really, really excited about it, and then I really just kind of fell flat for me. It was kind of boring. I didn't really care for it that much. I don't think I'm going to continue with the series because I just don't care enough to. So that was kind of a disappointment because I had heard so much hype about it that I was expecting it to be like amazing, and then it really just wasn't for me. Number 6 was your biggest surprise of the year. I think as of now that's going to go to Three Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake. I had heard that this book was good, but I did not expect to love it as much as I do. I was obsessed with this book. I still kind of am. I am like eagerly awaiting One Dark Throne. I guess you could also say that's one of my most anticipated releases for the second half of the year, because it comes out in September, as well as Tower of Dawn. But oh my gosh, I cannot wait for the last book in this duology. This duology is about 3 triplets who are born, and they're kind of separated and raised to have different powers, and then when they turn 16, they basically have to kill each other off, and then whoever's left standing gets to be the next queen. I could go into more detail, but I feel like this one's more fun if you don't know a whole lot. And I was completely obsessed with this book, so I'm really, really glad that I loved it as much as I did. Number 7 is your favorite new author. I think I'm probably gonna go with Angie Thomas for this one, because I just really loved The Hate U Give, and like I said earlier, I'm pretty much planning on buying anything that she writes from now on, because I loved this book so much. Number 8 is your newest fictional crush. Honestly, I'm not really at a point in my life anymore where I really get a lot of fictional crushes anymore, so I don't really know what to say for this answer. And number 9 is your newest favorite character. I'm gonna say probably Molly from The Upside of Unrequited. This is another one of my favorite books of the year, and I just really, really related to Molly a lot, and it really made me love and appreciate this book. And it was just so nice to see a lot of myself in Molly, so I'm gonna go with her. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. I don't really cry when I read anymore, which is weird, but I think I did tear up a little bit when I was reading Crooked Kingdom, because things happen. And I don't want to talk about it. Number 11 is a book that made you happy. Again, I think I'm going to go with The Upside of Unrequited for this one, because it just made me really happy that I was able to relate to this book so much. Number 12 is a favorite book to movie adaptation that you saw this year. I really haven't seen a lot of book to movie adaptations. I don't really go to the movies very often. I was hoping to see Everything, and then I didn't get to see it. So I think for this one, the only book to movie adaptation I can really think of that I've actually seen was Room. Which both the book and the screenplay were by Emma Donoghue, and so I thought the movie was fantastic. I thought the book was really fantastic. So I'm gonna go with that, because that's the only one I can think of that I've seen. Number 13 is your favorite review you've written this year. I don't really write reviews. I've done a few reviews on my channel, but it's not something I do very often. But I did do kind of like a review slash theories video for 3 Dark Crowns. And I did enjoy doing that one, so I guess we'll go with that. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought or received so far this year. I honestly don't know. I buy a lot of books, and I can't really see them all very well, particularly on my TBR shelf, so I guess I'm going to go with the Passenger duology by Alexandra Bracken. This is the cover for Passenger, and then this is the cover for the sequel Wayfarer, and I just think that they're both really, really pretty. Even under the dust jacket, they're really, really pretty. And the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I actually have a video where I listed 10 books I wanted to read in 2017, so I have a few books left on that list that I need to read. So the books on that list that I still have to read are The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, who is also J.K. Rowling, A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, Wicked by Gregory Maguire, This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So that's it for this tag. I am going to tag Birdie Reads. I'm also going to tag Zether Books and Megan Precourt. So I will leave their channels in the description as well. And that will be it for this video, and I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye.